Cop shoots black woman at traffic stop, unaware she is a U.S. Army colonel. Before we dive in the story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you liked the video, please subscribe. Blue light's a siren. It was just another traffic stop until it wasn't. She followed every command, hands, visible voice calm, but the officer wasn't listening. He saw her skin before he saw her rank. A sudden shout, a gun raised, a shot was fired. She dropped bleeding on the asphalt, still in uniform pants. She is still wearing her service tags when backup arrived and read her ID. Faces went pale. Colonel, a decorated U.S. Army officer, and now a headline: what happens when the very nation you swore to defend turns? It's weapon on you. Watch until the end, Colonel Angela. Monroe had just returned home from a 9-month deployment overseas. She wasn't in dress blues, just jogging pants and a military sweatshirt, her ID tag hanging beneath it. It was late. She was driving back from the airport, craving rest, her duffel bag tossed in the back seat. She had led troops, faced combat, and negotiated under fire, but nothing prepared her for what would happen just a few blocks from her own home. A routine traffic stop that's all it was supposed to be: a missing taillight. She pulled over, kept her hands at 10 and 2, and rolled down the window. Her voice was steady: yes, officer, but something in his eyes felt off. He wasn't asking questions. He was issuing warnings, aggressive, nervous, demanding ID, then yelling not to move. As she reached for her license, she froze, then without warning it all turned deadly. The officer, young, white, visibly tense, kept his hand near his holster. Don't move. He barked again, louder this time. Angela didn't. Her hands were still in view. My license is in my pocket, she said calmly, clearly, but his voice rose. You're resisting? Show me your hands. They were already visible. Angela's mind raced. Stay still. This wasn't a battlefield, but somehow it felt more dangerous there. At least her uniform meant respect. Here it meant nothing. She slowly turned her head to speak. The officer stepped back and banged one shot. Pain seared through her side as her body slumped against the door of the pavement. Rushed to meet her, her vision blurred from the ground. She heard the officer's panicked voice calling for backup, stammering about a threat about reaching. Within minutes, multiple squad cars arrived as one officer knelt beside her and began searching. Her jacket for ID, everything stopped. Wait, she's military Fullard. Colonel Angela Monroe. The radios went silent. The officer who fired the shot turned ghost white. Her blood was still on the asphalt. The question hung in the air: how did this happen? Angela was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but live news spread fast: a colonel shot during a traffic stop by an officer who didn't recognize the calm presence of leadership or hear the disciplined tone of command in her voice. As she lay recovering, media outlets swarmed. The police chief issued a statement. The officer was placed on leave. Public outrage grew, but Angela, she didn't speak to the press, not yet. She had one question playing over and over in her head: if I can survive war zones, why am I bleeding out on American soil? Unarmed, unthreatening, unseen, because this wasn't just about her rank. It was about something far more dangerous than enemy fire, a system trained to fear what it doesn't understand. Angela eventually stood at a podium, scars visible but unshaken. She didn't demand revenge. She demanded reform, training, accountability, humanity. I'm not here because I outranked the bullet. She said, I'm here because I got lucky, but luck should never decide who gets to go home. Her story went viral. Congress took notice. New police de-escalation bills were drafted. In her name, Angela went back to service, but not the kind with salutes and medals. She began fighting a different war, one for those who don't wear a uniform, but still bleed when misjudged. Because next time it might not be a colonel, it might be someone who never got the chance to speak at all. If you enjoyed this story and thought it provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Take care.